Hey everybody, welcome back to our cooking segment. Yeah. Cooking frozen pizza. That's got a couple more minutes. That's a Supreme. That looks pretty good. And then also, whew, I decided while I was heating up the bus, because it's like 80 degrees outside almost, to make some brownies. Yeah. I think they're about ready. Let me get in here where I don't get my space burned off. Woo, goodness gracious. That is for sure. Let's see if I can do this without burning my face off. Anyway, I think I bring the camera into here instead of me to that. Oh, let's go look in here. There we go. There we go. There's some brownies, cookie dough brownies, and pizza. That is dinner and dessert. So they're not quite done yet. Give it another couple more minutes. But while I'm heating, like I said, while I'm heating up the bus, make some brownies. Whew. You know, I was reading the box, and it said on the back of the box, it said, do not consume raw brownie mix. I've been eating brownie mix for 60 years. That's the best part of it. I think the brownie mix is better than the brownies. But yeah, let's go. We're going to have dinner here pretty soon, take a dog for a walk, and I'll show you what I found here right here the other day. I've been looking for one of these for a couple of years, and I really haven't been searching real hard for it. I thought, well, maybe someday I'll run across one. Look at there. I found a piece of crystal quartz laying in the road. I've been looking for one of those for, like I said, a couple of years. I've got a bunch of regular quartz, the yellow and the white and the kind of gold colored, but this is the first one I found that's all crystal. Yeah, I'm going to keep that. That's going in my bucket on the windshield. You can say, what is that? Well, up here I've got a box right here that I keep all my rocks in, and it's just about full. Look at there. It's just, I found that's a rock I found from my land in Colorado, and there's a car I found somewhere. This I got from somewhere in Colorado, spruce thing, and just different. You know, you got little mementos, and some of these I found these in Utah. Look at that. It looks like a giant pea. But yeah, I got plenty of quartz like this. You know, that's got the colors to it and everything else. But that's the first piece of crystal, as I mentioned, I found. So I'm going to save that one. All right, I think we're ready to take this stuff out of the oven. I got to get my pizza out. Oh, yep, it's ready. What I do is I'm going to throw it up on the counter, let it rest. Uh-oh, and I really need to get a pizza pan. A round one. Round pizza doesn't fit in square pans very well. Well, goodness gracious. There it goes. Let that rest and cool down, and I'll pull my brownies out, because I think they are about done too. So let me turn this oven off. It'll take for like 8 hours for the thing to cool down. Whew, like I said, that is hot. Yeah, now I can get, there we go. Now I can get around this thing. I only got one pot holder. That works. And I found it in the fire pit in Utah. Come on, get in there. But that looks like a pretty good. Let me try my little. It's a little. I like my brownies a little chewy, a little gooey. Oh yeah, yep. That just barely got anything stuck to it. That's where I like them. But you know, as I mentioned earlier about having to eat the brownie mix, you know, when it was in the bowl. Like I said, that's really good stuff. We ate, been eating that for, like I said, since I was a pup. And we had to work for ours, because if we want to lick the brownie mix out of the bowl, or off the blender, the mixer, we had to do it while the mixer was running. That's more challenging. So let me get in here and chop up this pizza, and then we can get out and walk the dog before it gets too dark. He's outside right now, just kind of hanging out. It's a lot cooler out there than it is in here. So what have we done today? Oh, not much. Hanging out in the desert. Pizza was pretty good. DiGiorno rising crust. Not bad for $5. Sure beats $25 for pizza in town. But and I got enough for tomorrow night too, so enough for 2 nights. Yeah, just hanging around the desert. I did do some sanding on the bus today. It's one of my shirts kind of got a little bit of a different tint to it. Green from the bus. Getting ready to paint the little rub rails on that probably the next day or two. And finish that project up on one side only. I haven't done the other side yet, but it's a lot of work. But we'll get her done. I've done it 3 or 4 times. I don't know. When I get ready to do the entire bus, paint the whole thing, then I'll really put my effort into it and take everything down to bare and start over. But I'm not going to paint the whole bus for a while. So other than that, we're just hanging out here in the desert doing our thing. Zen's over there. Let me pan around and show you. He's sitting down and got his nose going, smelling for coyotes and other animals. But there he is. He's got his center working. But yeah, I haven't done too much. Like I said, did a couple things, worked on some stuff with the bus, and just take it easy. And I've been messing with my new toy I got. So we'll show you that a little bit later on, right? My new toy. He didn't like it, but anyway. We'll show you that in just a few minutes. Well, I do know this. It's almost getting close to Christmas time, and there's not near as many people in the LTBA on the Tyson Wash side and the west side as there has been the last 2 seasons. How do I know that? There's a whole lot of empty spaces all around. I mean, usually they're always full, but there's 3 right beside me that are prime. I mean, they back up like where mine does, back up to the wash area. They're empty. And down towards the other end, towards the Big Ten area, there's a whole bunch down there that are just wide open. So maybe they'll show up after Christmas, first of the year. Big Tent show's a little over a month away from today. So we'll see what happens. But it's been quieter here, which is not a bad thing. Well, here's a new toy. You guys ready for this? Just give you a sneak preview. Look at there. Woohoo! What do you think? It's my new toy. New scooter. I know. You guys are thinking like, what is he done now? Well, I got my helmet on. My insurance is paid up. And yes, I know what'll happen if I take a tumble. Something's going to break. That or me. Hey, you want to live once in life? Go around and enjoy yourself, you know? This was offered to me as a, one of those reviews, which it's coming up probably in the next video after this one. My review of this awesome scooter. And that's the name of it. Awesome. Yeah, it's kind of cool. So you got a horn. You got turn signals. I'll tell you what, it's going to be cool. I've ridden this, I think, more than I have ridden my bike. So, because I can do it without having to take Zen along. He doesn't like it. He just kind of hides out of the way. But that's my new toy. Kind of crazy, isn't it? Huh? Is your dad kind of crazy? I think so. Kind of nuts. Yep. And here we are the next day. Get ready to paint on this rub rails. Here's what it looks like. I've got sanded down. As you can see, it needs to be painted. And the whole thing was originally spray painted when I did the bus almost 3 years ago. But as you can tell, the black didn't quite hold as well, so I'm having to do it manually. But as I mentioned earlier, when I get around to painting the entire bus, then I really concentrate on grinding those things down to bare metal like that, because they actually were yellow underneath, and just start over. And that's the reason why it pops off. So, and you're wondering, how do I paint it now? Well, let me show you. Well, this is how I paint it now. This is the original paint that I used to paint the bus. I've got a half a gallon out of the 1.5 gallons I started with. It took me a gallon to paint the entire bus with a spray painter. So I got this, and I got that. And that's what I repaint all this with. Very time consuming. One coat, then go back the next day and do another coat. So just go in here, get your paintbrush, and just basically go at it. I basically wind up painting the entire rail. Even though this here doesn't need to be painted, I go ahead and paint it anyway just to give it some color so it blends in. And this is a little bit brighter than the actual paint on the bus, which is kind of good because that brightness, the glossy, kind of makes the rubber rail stand out. So it looks like it's a whole other texture on the bus. So I'm not going to bore you guys with me painting the rails because it's going to take a couple hours. So we'll catch up on the end product, the first coat. Well, here's the first coat I got on it. That's pretty good. Makes it shine like I showed you. Like I told you, it makes it shine better. I may put a second coat on later on. Also gives that different texture between the kind of the paint that's faded out and the new glossy kind of paint. So that's mine. And about, I don't know, time I leave here in the spring, this will all kind of blend in together. You won't know it's even been done. But I call it the 50-50 paint job. You know, it looks good from 50 feet away or 50 miles an hour. But, I mean, it works because they just paint it on with a brush. So, you know, that's just the first coat. But it works fine for me. Then I go through and touch up the little areas like right through here that's above. Because what happens on these things is, since this is put on here, the metal contracts and expands. And so even though you spray paint it, it still will pop up. So your metal will shrink and move up and down. Then it causes your breakdown. Then you have a little bit of that yellow. The original bus paint, which is everywhere, you still have a little bit of that yellow that come through the edge. So it's hard to get out of there because it's right in that edge of that rub rail. Yeah, I could have taken these off, but you know what that means? About 1 million holes that I would have had to fill up everywhere in the bus. So I didn't have the angle grinder and I didn't have the welder to do that, or the time and patience. So they stayed on there. Zen, he's over there supervising. We had some subscribers come by. Ron and Pam, I believe was their name. Their dog's name was Henry. And they were really nice from Tennessee, and they mentioned that, well, oh, everybody always remembers our dog's name, but not ours. It's the same way. So sorry if I got your name wrong, but I think it's Ron and Pam and Henry. They're over in the south side, and they were just driving by, decided to stop in and say hi. So, hey back. Zen was real good with Henry. They'd sniff each other for a couple minutes, and that was it, and went and lay down. So nothing exciting. We'll get back to painting here, because I started down the side. And you can see the difference already. So I've got from here all the way down there times 3, because there's 3 rails. So I better get busy. And there is the first coat after about 2 hours. Second coat will go on a lot easier because the first coat, as you saw, had a lot of cover up. But I like that. It gives it that 3-dimensional kind of, like it's got that bright green on the rails and then the soft green on the metal. And Zen's been out here just laying in his hole. Oh, he is goodness gracious. That's a hard job, wasn't it, here laying here guarding me while I'm painting, isn't it? Yeah, that is it. We'll put another coat on tomorrow, and then we'll call this side done. Yeah, I like that. Like I said, it gives it that little pop to it. Now it's leftover pizza time. So we're going to go eat. And then we're going on our evening walk. Well, thanks everybody for watching this one. We're going to take the Zen out for a walk. Are you ready to go for your walk? Huh? Let's go. Come on, let's go out here in the desert and go for a walk before the sun goes down. See you guys on the next one.